Thank you for taking the time to join me as I try to explain to you what we intend to offer here in Salt Hill Parish on Wednesday evenings and Thursday mornings around the area of retirement. But the motto is how to make the rest of your life the best of your life. So I've 10 years retirement technically done myself, and I'm beginning to notice that a lot of people around me are further along the road than I am. And I've kind of hit that this idea or this concept of retirement is an ongoing, needs ongoing attention and ongoing planning. And I'm inviting you, if you wish to join in the conversation around retirement, in order to explore and discover how to make the best for the rest of your life. The fact of the matter is that many of us are now spending a third of our lives in retirement. So how do you define this stage called retirement? Is it when your career ends or your children move out? When you become financially independent? And how much thought has been given to this important stage in your life? And what can you do with these extra years? Because aging is a lifelong process, the day you're born, and ensuring people, so we need to explore how and investigate how people can age healthily and maintain independence, even into this stage of retirement. And it requires a life course approach. Retirement, from one door closes and many others open. But retirement itself has peculiarities, and we need to be aware of them, we need to discuss them, and we need to explore them. It can be the transition to retirement and early retirement. I thought I got these two fairly good myself, but now I kind of find myself at a crossroads in adjusting to this idea of retirement, because I feel there's a good long road ahead yet, and the needs and the values change as you journey along this road. So there's still preparation, constant planning needs to be thought. Health and accommodation, welfare, all of these aspects to be looked at. Keeping in mind all of the time to act like the inner person, the inner young person that you've always been. You bring all your past history with you in a good way, not in a bad way, because sometimes we can get caught up with history, with our past. So Dr. Wayne Dwyer offers a quick solution to this. He says, if you can change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And this isn't just purely required to what you're looking at the present, but if you change the way you look at things that happened to you in the past, and see them through a different perspective, with different eyes, amazing the transformation that can happen. Because he goes on to say, you can't always control what goes on all around you on the outside, but where our true power rests is what goes on inside, our approach and our attitude. Then we have Maslow's famous hierarchy of needs, and he defines it as basically we have to look after our physical well-being first, as is in life, and which is accommodation, food security. Then you have just ordinary securities, comfort, living in a very safe society. We're very fortunate and very lucky here in this time and era and place where we live. That then affords us to embrace our relationships, our love and belonging. And we develop a fairly good self-esteem, depending on the career choices, the relationships we have with the size of families, the social interactions we have, whether it be work or pastimes. But then there is this final pinnacle of self-actualization, which I think is more readily available to us in this later stage of life, because all of these other stages have been achieved, but now in themselves mean nothing when you get to the whole idea of self-actualization. Along the way, there will be disappointments, and you think that you have reached the ultimate goal. But the loneliest moment in life is when we have just experienced that which we thought would deliver the ultimate, and it has let us down. It's the falling and being able to pick up and go again. This quote was mainly, let's say, directed towards people in sporting arenas who who spend all their time and effort and energy getting to that, achieving that gold medal, being the All Ireland, being the Grand Slam, being whatever it is. And then after that, where do they go? What do they do? They have to reinvent and redefine their lives. 2 YouTube channels I will be asking you if you wish to join the class. The class we'll have to draw on materials, draw on resources to help structure our conversation. And the first one will be from this lady who has been looking at change in people's lives and how people handle change, and particularly around the area of retirement. And she uses this phrase, return on investment, which is used in the financials well-being, but we're return on our lives, return on what we have invested in our life so far. For this idea of retirement, you have to reframe, optimize, and ignite. You have to get going again in a new framework, in a new way. The second person gives us the 4 stages. He says the honeymoon period. We all may recognize this. This is the time when you go off on 2 or 3 holidays in a year, maybe 4 by car, stay in, go out late, go to a few extra concerts. Life is rosy. And then after a while, a type of reality sits in and you say, I have to do more than this life. I just can't live like this anymore. There has to be more to it than life. And you start trying out new things. You might even take up a new career. You might do more education. You might take up different hobbies, a whole heap of various things. So you have to be trial and error. And you will find that you may spend time at new things and they aren't working out. And that's quite all right. I would always sort of associate this like doing the Leaving Cert and you're going to college and you don't know what course you're going to do. And you end up taking whatever one sort of becomes available at the time, only to discover that it's not for you. But that's quite all right. There's no rush. As I say, good things take time. The difficulty with this trial and error, people often fall back into a sense of, sure, why bother? Haven't I enough? Can't I settle down with a simple routine? I have my basics covered and, just settle for second best. Or if you, with the encouragement of these meetings, with the encouragement of being in the right company, you get that drive to reboot, to reinvent and rewire your life. And I reckon that this is where you become self-actualized. You become to take time out to discover your true self, your true purpose, the real blossoming in your life. It's a goal, I think, it's a goal worth achieving, but it takes, like everything else, easier said than done. Another person I'd love to give a bit of time to in the conversations would be Richard Rohr and his interpretation. Life is not, he says, or ever has been a straight line. It's characterized much more by the exception and disorder than by total and perfect order. So even as we plan, we must be prepared for setbacks. As I say, tell God your plans, making them laugh. He has his book specifically dealing with this matter called Falling Upwards, and be encouraged to have a read of that, or even at least listen to the YouTube where he gives a synopsis on it. The other one is a guy called Stephen Jenkinson, Come of Age, an interesting title, but we all come of age every stage throughout our lives. We have to come of age when we were teenagers, when we were adults, to come of age when we took up our whatever commitments we took on life along the way. One of his famous books is called Die Wise. So that's an interesting topic I think we could look into. So if you're interested in coming along, if you're interested in getting involved in all of this, we're going to meet up 3 times a week, an evening, morning, and an afternoon, to try and make it varied. Wednesday evening, and twice on Thursday morning and afternoon. In Galilee House or the conference room, we'll find a room. We hope to keep the groups limited to 15 only, so that we can allow people a chance to give their opinion. And so book early, phone the office and leave your number and we'll get back to you. Or email at salthill@galwayparishes.ie. The last slide here is just the links we have towards the 2 videos that I will be asking you to look at before you come into the meeting. The meetings will be organic in the sense that it is a group affair. There is no right way or wrong way. We are all at different stages in it. So the conversation will develop according to the group. So with that in mind, I'm getting used to this technology. I'm finished here. Find my stop button and look forward to seeing and hearing from you. Should you wish to join us, get that button. I'm directing as well as producing this thing. So this is all new to me. Technology, you have to get used to it. Thank you. Bye-bye.